to Brewing Success, where growth is the mission, change is the reward, and progress is the goal. I am your host, Andrea Gebhardt. I'm a former educator turned passionate entrepreneur whose desire to create impact has never wavered. I've spent the last decade teaching, mentoring, and coaching people on how to create success in their lives and businesses with proven strategies and systems that not only bring about change, but big results. When it comes down to it, teaching is my specialty, leadership is my jam, and inspiring you to live a bigger, fuller life is what I'm all about. This podcast will give you the knowledge and tools you need to brew success in almost any area of your life. You're going to walk away each week feeling inspired, motivated, and ready to step outside your comfort zone and into the next level of who you're meant to be. Now let's get into today's episode. If you want to be more successful in life, then there are two things that you have to make sure you have in order: your purpose and your passion. I'm just going to tell you guys that I kind of feel like I'm breaking my own rules by doing two different words for P, but these two are so important, I just couldn't pick one. Your purpose is like the driver of your actions, and your passion, it's the fuel. And I think it's pretty safe to say that if you want to go anywhere in life, a driver and fuel is 100% required. So let's get started with purpose. To be honest with you, I think people way overthink purpose. It's almost as if it's this elusive, mystical thing, but in reality, it's not. Some people think that only a select few are given a distinct purpose. Some people go out into the jungles or their bathtubs to clear their mind, meditate, and try to ponder their life's purpose. But again, that too is not necessary. Purpose is not a birthright. Purpose has nothing to do with how you were raised, and it certainly has nothing to do with status. Purpose is a choice. It is a choice we make about how we want to live our lives. It is a choice about what we want our lives to be about. It's a choice about who our lives will make a difference for. Purpose is a choice. Some of you may have complete clarity on your life's purpose. Others of you may have an inkling. And then there are some of you, well, you have no clue. No matter where you are in all of that, it's 100% okay, because like Simon Sinek says, purpose is a process of discovery, not invention. The simple word of process clearly shows that it is something that will take time, it will take many parts, and it will come together to create something in the end. Process of discovery tells us that purpose is something we discover. Just as each person is unique, so is each person's purpose. And I believe that we all have a calling placed on our lives when we are born. And it's a series of actions and events that lead us to uncovering and fulfilling that purpose. And again, I don't want you to feel, if you know what your purpose is, fantastic. If you have no idea, that is okay. And if you kind of think that is fine too. I'm not sure if I was ever really aware of my purpose until somebody started talking to me about purpose. In fact, back in 2017, I hired a coach. I was looking for higher level mentorship and leadership. I was at the top of my company. I didn't really have anybody pouring into me. And I was like, if I want to go next level, I have to grow next level, which means I'm going to have to bring somebody in to coach me, to help me to do all of that. And I remember when we started talking about purpose, I for sure thought I kind of knew, but once we started talking about it, I didn't really have it nailed down. And I didn't really understand how to clearly identify my purpose in terms of communicating it and really understanding it, which means that I had gotten this far in life, in my career, on this road to success, without taking full ownership of my purpose. And it was once those discussions started, let me just tell you, it was really hard work for me to try to figure that out. I wanted to be multi-purposed. I wanted to have lots of purposes. I felt like if I only had one, it was too narrow and it wasn't enough. And I felt myself kind of really struggling to be able to clearly identify that thing. And so I want to just normalize for a hot second that if you don't have clarity, You're normal. It's okay. We're going to figure it out. And I'm going to take you through some stuff today that's going to really help you identify that. Because once you identify what your purpose is and you're able to live on purpose, live in purpose, work on purpose, work in purpose, so many more things open up for you because the level of alignment that you've created is beyond anything else. So going back to what I said, it's a series of actions and events that lead us to uncovering and fulfilling that purpose. Please notice what I said there. Those two words are very key, series of actions and events, meaning you're going to have to take action to discover your purpose, and you're going to have to experience events, also known as success and probably mostly failure, on your way to discovering your purpose. Essentially, if you are comfortable, you are not working in your purpose. If you are not growing, you are not living in your purpose. And if you are not making progress, you are certainly not working in your purpose. When you are working in your purpose, and even on your purpose, don't come at me with the words here because I feel like it's in alignment with your purpose, okay? You are intentional about personal education and personal growth, meaning it is something that you schedule, you decide to do, you personally invest in because you are looking to unlock that, discover that, and that's what it takes. You're focused on working to grow and improve yourself because you know that the greater the version of you that you become, the greater the version of your purpose emerges. When you are working in your purpose, you are always on the edge of your comfort zone, learning new things, attempting new things, and stretching yourself. When you are working in your purpose, it's a wild mix of satisfaction and uncertainty. Discovering your purpose is really about figuring out a way to impact the world in a way that satisfies you. I know that the next question you probably have for me right now is, okay, Andrea, well, how do I figure out my purpose? How do I figure out what that is? And this is not a one-size-fits-all response. There's no magic button. There's no recipe for this. But I'm going to share with you some questions that will get you started on a process of discovery. And the best way for you to do that is to ask yourself these questions in regard to what you do right now. It will either highlight that you are in fact in alignment with your purpose, or it may reveal that you're not. So think about with whatever it is that you're currently doing, whether it's your main gig or your side gig, whatever it is, ask yourself these questions. Do you enjoy what you're doing? Do you feel energized doing what you do? Does what you do bring you joy? Would you do what you do for free? That's a big one. Does what you do benefit others? So that's really evaluating where you currently are to make sure you're in alignment. Again, it's going to reveal that you are, or it's going to reveal that maybe you're not. You can also take a version of these questions to help you figure out what your purpose might be. Remember, we are just starting this process of discovery. And in order to discover things, we have to ask questions. We have to look inward. We have to reflect. So we're going to take those same questions, but we're going to kind of put a spin on them. So if we're trying to figure out, hey, so what is my purpose? What might that be? Let's have a little discovery sesh. So I'm going to ask you, what do you enjoy doing? What types of things energize you? What brings you joy? What would you do more of if money weren't an option? So let's disconnect financial gain or benefit. What would you do more of? What type of difference do you want to make in the lives of others? Because purpose has nothing to do with us as a single person. It has everything to do with all the others around us, the impact we make, the ripple we create, the value that we add, the change that we inspire. That is purpose. You can go back to the show notes, by the way, and screenshot these questions. I put them in there for you guys so you can really explore them and answer them and dive into them when you're not driving your car, folding laundry, or if you're like me, when you listen to a podcast in the shower. So go back and grab those and do this work. Trust me, it'll be the best few minutes you spend with yourself today. Remember that your purpose is a process of discovery. This is just the beginning. Now, of course, I have to cover all of my bases and make sure I also address those of you who are very aware of your purpose and probably actively working on it and living in it. Again, remember that purpose is a process of discovery, and that is a never-ending process. Your purpose will only get more clear, more refined, and more specific as you go and as you grow. It is always a good idea to run your purpose through this series of questions to make sure you are in process and making progress with your purpose. Oftentimes we can get comfortable with our purpose, and when we do, it's only a matter of time when we fall out of it. Let's not ever let that happen, because your purpose is just too important. So let's get down to the nitty-gritty and refine your purpose with the following questions. Why are you doing what you are currently doing? Why does it matter? Who does it impact? What does it look like to others on the outside? And the last question, how will it be remembered? And I love this because, again, if you're already aware of your purpose and you're working in purpose and living on purpose and doing all of that, then this is going to give you clarity. This is going to strengthen. This is going to help you refine your purpose, because maybe you're on the outside edge of it. Maybe you're not fully involved in the core of it. And that's what I want to bring you closer to. I want to bring you closer to the deep-rooted part of your purpose, not the superficial, my purpose is to change the world, but that deep-rooted, like connected in your inner belly reason why you do what you do. The way in which you are able to answer these questions, you guys, will not only reveal the strength of your purpose, but also clarify and deepen its impact. Think about it this way. Being that your purpose is your personal contribution to the world, imagine what it would be like if our headstones, or better yet, our obituaries, only contain our purpose. No dates, no long life story, single couple of lines, just your purpose. What would yours say? People are going to walk that cemetery and see those headstones in the ground and think, wow, that was a purpose fully lived out, or wow, that was a purpose that is 6 feet beneath the soil, contributing nothing, giving nothing. And, I'll share something really personal with you guys in this moment. It's actually not in my show notes at all, but, I can get through this. Okay. So my Nana, give me one sec. Oh, okay. So my Nana, as you guys know, I've shared about her, a lot about her. She was just a really important person in my life. And February was her birthday. And, we celebrate that. And the other day I was driving to Target. Shocker, I know. And I passed by this senior assisted living facility. And it happened to be in our town, the senior assisted living facility that my grandmother lived in for about 9 months prior to the house that was being built, the house that we were having built in, for the purpose of having space to accommodate her, right? She moved in with us. She lived with us for the last 2 years of her life. So while she was at this assisted living facility where the house was being built, I used to get off of work, as a principal. I would drive into the next town, which is where I currently live. I would go grocery shopping for her, do whatever I needed to do, go there, visit with her, get her all the things that she needed. And it was, a couple times a week that I would just do that. And then I'd take the kids and we'd go visit and all of that kind of stuff, go on little outings and things of that nature. She was a sucker for ice cream, and so am I. So it was awesome. But as I was driving on this road, I drove by the facility, and I thought to myself, man, I remember getting off work and being exhausted, but showing up for her and paying her back in all the ways that she contributed to my life growing up, and just being there, loving her, taking care of her, serving her where she was at that point. And I remember thinking, to myself as I was driving, like, what a incredible woman she was. And I started thinking about the legacy. I'm like, I wonder what her contribution was. And I wonder what her legacy was. And I don't know that I was ever at a point of growth or development to have that conversation with her or talk about all of that. And then I had this moment where I was like, Andrea Gale, I middle named myself. You are her legacy. You get to show up in this world every single day and represent the love that she gave, the care that she gave, the compassion that she gave. And it just made me have this, moment with myself, because I thought, here she is, she's gone, but her legacy lives on in me. And it got me all kinds of levels of emotional. And it made me really just grab a hold of my purpose and know that every day that I'm living that out, I'm honoring her. You guys, when we live out our purpose, it's important work, because you're honoring the people who have come before you, the people who've poured into your lives, the people who's, contributed to the world that you live in. Your people, you are the living legacy of that. And so when we live in our purpose, we're honoring them, we're honoring that. And it just made the work that I do 10 times more meaningful to know that every time I add value to someone's life, every time I help them become better, every time I stop and show up and serve at a level that person needs, that I'm honoring her. And I truly hope that your purpose is felt at that deep of a level, that you start to understand that the time that you have here on this planet isn't about creating the best reel and the funniest TikTok and getting the most views and creating the most likes. It is about creating the largest level of impact to honor those who fought hard and who worked hard to create better opportunities for you. So if the purpose is the driver, let's switch gears, as I try not to snot everywhere, and talk about the fuel, passion. Passion truly is energy. It's an energy source that fuels success. There are so many conflicting ideas around whether passion is a necessary factor for success. And I'm going to strongly argue that it 100% is. When you are not passionate about something, you are not motivated and are not inspired to do it, it feels like work and it doesn't bring you joy. You act out of obligation, not out of intrinsic motivation. When you are passionate about something, it simply feels different. You get out of bed differently, you approach work differently, you feel energized rather than drained during and after the work. It satisfies your heart and your soul. You feel the most alive because of it. You exude light when you talk about it. It's where you flow naturally and where you catch your groove. This is why you have to be in action, moving about in life, because you have to be able to feel when passion strikes and then revel in it. Just like a firefly, get it in your passion jar so you can capture its essence. This is why you have to be in growth mode always and constantly break through the barrier of your comfort zone, because trust me, passion is a gift. And it is not neatly wrapped with a bow and some sparkly ribbon just waiting for you in your comfort zone. Nope, no way, not a chance. Instead, it's out there beyond your comfort zone, hidden like a treasure waiting to be found. But you have to hunt for it. Probably thinking, well, what does that hunt look like? It looks like trying new things. It looks like putting yourself in new situations, knocking on the door of opportunity, and taking the steps to walk over the threshold of comfort that you have kept your toes too close to for far too long. Passion is like purpose. It's discovered. It almost makes me think of that movie Hotel Transylvania, when they are searching for the zing. You, too, are looking for your zing. But instead of it being to find your true love, it's to find your true passion. That thing that makes your heart and soul high five because you unlocked the treasure that will fuel your purpose in life, the treasure that will breathe life into your spirit and give your life meaning, the kind of meaning you've been searching for. It is like all the stars align and you unlock your gifts to the world. It's truly so inspiring to think about. I want you to become obsessive about finding what sets your soul on fire. Become one of those obsessive treasure hunters we watch in the movies. Go on the adventure. Put yourself in the situations that reveal your strengths. Go for the gold. Find the hidden treasure that will not make you rich in goods, but make you rich in contribution to the world in the only way that you can. How will you know when you find it? Oh, you'll know. You'll know. You won't be able to help it. It's very similar to that feeling when you find that one person you knew you loved before you ever even met them. And when you meet them, you just knew. It's like that. Whether you've experienced that in real life or just seen it in the movies, it is like that. It is a deep connection with the most authentic, deep-rooted part of yourself, the seed that was planted before you were ever even a thought. It is like that. Unlike so many other leadership skills, passion is innate. It's not learned. It's not acquired. Passion is inside of you. Passion fuels an overwhelming desire to reach a certain goal. That's why it matters. There's one thing that all successful people have in equal measure, and it's passion. And you know this to be true because when you see it, you say things like, wow, that person is super passionate about what they do. It's an internal fire that creates an external light. Passion provides the power to push through hardship, struggle, obstacles. Passion powers the hard work. Passion powers the determination. Passion powers the relentless pursuit. Passion is what gets you going and keeps you going. Passion is what separates the above average leaders from the average ones. However, I'm sure it's pretty safe to say that if you lack passion as a leader, you're not really leading anyone or anything anywhere. Passion is contagious. It is attractive and it moves people. Your passion also transfers energy to others, which is why we want to get behind people and their passions. We're drawn to it. We're drawn to the goal. We're drawn to the outcome. This is how movements are started and how movements change the world. It doesn't take millions of people to make things happen. It happens to take a few passionate people to spark major change. Passion is required for success because success takes work, and work isn't easy. We have talked about the challenges, the adversity, the fear, the doubt, all the things that will come your way when you're in hot pursuit of your life's work. The only thing that will really get you through those challenges is your passion, as it is the fuel. When you are truly passionate about what you are doing, you are unstoppable. There's nothing that will get in your way. You will endure hardship and failure, but it won't stop you, ever. It provides the drive to get gritty and grind it out. And it's kind of funny, actually, that we've landed here because the etymology of the word passion in Latin is pati, which means to suffer or endure. So basically, this normalizes that when you're working on your purpose and in your passion, you will be challenged. But you will have what you need to overcome it all. So as we wrap this up today, remember these key points. Your passion is a process of discovery fueled by your passion. Your passion is simply that thing that sets your soul on fire, what enlivens you, what moves you, what helps you create new ideas, what makes it easy to be disciplined in your habits, what gives you determination. It will also help you become a more positive person, believing in the notion that whatever you work for in this life will work out for you. Whatever you work for in this life is going to work out for you. It will give you something to believe in, something to fight for. So grab your map, grab your flashlight, grab a few snacks, a bottle of water, and get out there into the world and on the hunt for your treasure that is anxiously awaiting to be found by the only person who has the ability to open the lock and reveal the riches of your personal passion and purpose. You guys, thank you for joining me on this episode. I am so excited to see you start this process of discovery. I am so fired up to watch what happens within you, for you, and all around you when you start to figure out what your purpose is, when you start to align with your true passion in this life, who you're going to become, what you're going to accomplish, and who you're going to impact. You guys, if this episode captured your heart, captured your soul, brought you some energy, please share it with people you know who need to hear it so we can get everybody on the path to discovery of living out their purpose so that they can honor those that came before them, so that they can make the unique contribution to the world that they were designed to make. You guys, thank you so much for being here on the Brewing Success Show, where growth is the mission, change is the reward, and progress is the goal.